To build and decorate this giant cupcake, I'm starting off by adding a lower layer and giving it a small buttercream border around the cake like that, just so we can put in our filling and it won't leak out. You can use any kind of filling. I'm using caramel here. You can of course just go with a little strawberry or even apricot jam. That's also nice with the vanilla cake. I'm adding my second layer and then repeating the process by also giving it a buttercream border. This just helps for the cake not to lose any of the filling, whichever filling you choose. Of course, you can always do only buttercream if you like. I'm doing a second layer of caramel. You can add strawberry jam or maybe even apricot jam. I'm putting in just enough so it won't leak out, and then just smoothing it in so the cake will fit nicely on top. I'm putting the next layer is going to be our top of the giant cupcake. I'm making sure it's even on all the sides, and then I'm going to add a bubble straw right in the middle to keep everything in place when I do the decorating later, cutting off the excess on top. Now I'm putting a small layer of buttercream right around the cake. You'll see I'll go only where the deep fillings is, like so to speak, just to make sure I even it out nicely. I will take my offset spatula and just smooth it out. This is just a crumb coat layer, making sure when we do our next layer, none of the crumbs will get out. I might have used a little bit less than needed icing here, but of course you can always add more. And I'm just smoothing it all out on all the sides. This doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to do another layer. After I've smoothed it out, I'm putting it in the freezer for 15 to 20 minutes. And once I come back, I will start do the decorating. I'm using a 1M tip here, and just from the bottom go right until where the second or third layer or top of our giant cupcakes will start, always going on over and more than what's needed. This you can do an even layer. I like the 1M tip. Recently I've started using that quite often. I'm using my coffee cup there at the back just to keep my turntable still, and I'm continuing until I have all of the bottom of our giant cupcake covered. You can do all sorts of patterns. You can do chocolate at the bottom if you want to. There's no rule to this. Everyone can do it differently. And after that, I am going to pull up my second color, which is the bright red. I just love how this came out. And using also the 1M, I am starting in the middle, securing my cake board or turntable, and just going around, starting at the same place, almost overlapping at the bottom, just to cover up. And I'm gonna continue all the way around. I always like to start at the bottom of the cupcake and then move my way up. As you will see here, I will continue to do the whole giant cupcake right around. This will just make sure that you have an even layer all around the cake. After I've done the first layer, I will start the second one and almost layering it on top of the bottom roses I've piped. As you can see, always starting in the middle, going the same way around and just layering them on top of each other, one after another, making sure there's no little gaps. I'm continuing this until I'm at the top. At one point you will see that the cupcake almost looks like it's leaning to one side, but that's just because all of my roses aren't level enough, but you just fill it up. There you'll see I just took my buttercream and fill it up on the one side, Continuing doing so and layering it on top of each other until I have all of my frosting used and all of the gaps filled. Making sure everything is just covered and perfect. For this, I decided to use some Kit Kat fingers I had left and layering them at the bottom all around the cake. Like I said, this doesn't have to be perfect. I decided I'm not going to put them next to each other, but leaving a little gap so we can still see the decoration the one M made at the bottom. I'm going to continue all around my cupcake. Then I ran out of some fingers, only had the broken ones left, and you'll see that I can actually use those as well. When assembling those, you just make sure they fit into each other like I did there, and it's almost not even noticeable. This way there is no wasting or me ending up eating them. After using all of my Kit Kat fingers, I'm happy with the results. I just punched out number 60. This was for his 60th birthday, out of some fondant, or you can even use gum paste if you have, and just put it on in the middle and center of my giant cupcake. Getting my small little edible silver balls. As you can see here, I'm using a small tweezer tool, putting it in right in the center of every rose that I piped. It just finishes off the cake very nicely for me. I kind of love doing that lately. Also, when I'm happy with all of those silver balls being put in the center, I of course always use edible glitter on top. It just makes the cake sparkle and makes it pretty and finishes off beautifully. And there you have it, quite easily made a giant cupcake. If you would like to know any tips or have any comments for me, please leave them in the boxes below. You're more than welcome to subscribe or also follow me for any videos that will come in the future. If you have any questions, let me know. I'm so thankful for you watching me. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to do the next one for you. Have a fantastic day, whatever you do. Keep smiling, keep baking, and even if you have a bad day, the good day is just around the corner.